Uh-oh. People, are we being consistent? Did Uncle Gary just go back to back and hit you with another rant 2 weeks in a row? Hey. Good job, Gary. Sock it to me. Yee!
Yeah, the good job came from, go back to out the trunk, man. You got to believe in yourself. And it was a lot of times when nobody wasn't telling me good job. So I had to pump myself up and like, good job, Larry. Keep going. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Hey, if you put that out to the universe, they go give it back to you. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Rant Wednesday. We are changing the settings just a little bit. Different forms of the ecosystem in here. There's still cobwebs up there somewhere. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a couple of them. But got a special announcement before we get into everything. Everybody, I will be at Fuel Fest, Texas. That's right. And Dallas, I believe it's Dallas, April 20th. 420, we're going to be smoking some tires. I would love to bring this car, but as you can see, it's in still conditions, but it do start. You want to hear it for the one time? Because you're thinking, does it work? Of course, I'm not no sucker. Ooh. It works. Car does work, everybody, but the only thing is there's some other conditions that I have to do. Got an angle kit on this bad boy now, but I'm going to be using Gilbert's S13. He was nice enough to let me borrow his S13. So long story short, Fuel Fest, April 20th, X-Comp Tires is bringing your boy out, and if everything goes right, we gonna be on the road this year. So if you're at Fuel Fest and you want to ride along, I'm not charging anything. If you want to donate, you can. Just stop by the X-Comp booth, be like, Uncle G, let me get a ride. And I got you, as long as I don't break the car. If you actually like the setting that we're in, we'll do more rants here at the shop because I like the ambiance, the presence, and Juno's not barking. Let's get straight into it. Wrestlemania was this weekend, and I must say, we went into the office the next day talking about it. Shannon Sharp was talking about it. Every form of sports outlet and media talked about WrestleMania. For people that don't know, I'll just do a brief summary of it. Cody Rhodes, the son of Dusty Rhodes, the brother of Goldust, is trying to tell his story and start a story, finish a story, whatever you want to say, against Roman Reigns, the cousin of The Rock, the cousin of the Usos, which is the sons of Rikishi. Solo Sikoa being the son of Rikishi. That's right, you probably missed out on a lot. But the thing that they did right with this WrestleMania and with every match, and I loved it, was the pacing. I know you guys who have not watched wrestling before, or who has not watched wrestling before, kind of WrestleMania is kind of drawn out. You watch a match, tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat, and sometimes it's slow. Mind you, this is WrestleMania 40. And with the main event being Roman Reigns, The Rock, versus Cody Rhodes in like a no rules, anything goes. And it was crazy to see the cameos. We got John Cena. We got The Undertaker. Now, I would have preferred Stone Cold Steve Austin come out, but somebody on my Instagram did bring it to my attention. Low key and high key, The Undertaker has wrestled damn near every member of the bloodline in Roman Reigns' family. Yokozuna, Umaga, The Rock, Rikishi. He's went through the whole bloodline. So that makes sense. But the whole point is, I was sitting there on the edge of my seat, grown man in tears, watching Cody Rhodes finish his story. And it was so phenomenal because if you know anything about the backstory, that his father, I believe, held the belt once. And that was it. And there's a lot of people in the wrestling industry that have held, not even a lot, the main faces of the wrestling industry have held that belt multiple times. Stone Cold has been multiple-time champion. The Rock's multiple-time champion. Triple H, Chris Jericho. Mankind held the championship once. Kane held the championship once. There's not a lot of champions that hold the belt. Now, I know you guys are thinking, wrestling's fake, it's predetermined. I don't care what you say. All I know is the art of storytelling is there. The Crossroads, man, that boy did that. And it's sad to see. I low-key felt some type of way seeing Roman Reigns lose because Roman Reigns has been holding up the WWE on his back for the last 5 years since the great vid happened. And it's crazy to see the amount of effort that this young man has went through. He went from the Shield with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and seeing how he had no mic skills, or correction, he had mic skills, but he needed more seat time on the mic to get through. And it's crazy, the development. You could see him turning into that person. And I don't think we'll get another talent like him. And when I mean like that, there's only one Rock. There's only one Kurt Angle, there's only one Perk Angle, and there's only one Stone Cold Steve Austin. To duplicate those kind of people, it would be more or less like, you know, it's a ripoff. And with Roman Reigns, it's so much kind of like you felt like this dude was putting his family's real bloodline out there for the public to see. And the craziest part about it was he would dissect every person that came along and tried to challenge him for that belt. And that was the most magnificent part about it. When Sami Zayn wanted to dip out the bloodline, when was it Jey Uso wanted to dip out the bloodline, and he did his yeet thing, and Jimmy stayed. I get them confused because they're twins. One has like a mullet, one has braids. But the fact that they kept going and they told that and they dominated wrestling as a family for eons. And now that it's Roman Reigns' turn, it's cool to see. But now it's like, where do we go from here? The Rock has his belt. Cody Rhodes has his belt. The Rock being the final boss. And the one thing that I loved about this whole arc, they brought back the Attitude Era feel with modern day wrestling and with good storytelling. So if people wanted to know, each generation, like the golden era of wrestling, Hogan, Macho Man, Roddy Piper, the freaking Road Warriors, those were like big, bulky, superhero-looking guys that weren't too athletic. And when I say that, they weren't too athletic, it was kind of like bulky moves, leg drop. Well, Macho Man had the flying elbow, and everybody else, it was just like power wrestling moves. Then when you get into the 90s, it gets a little bit more agile, but now you have like the level of physicality is there. You got people like Ricochet, Neville, Cody Rhodes is agile, Seth Rollins agile. Think about Roman Reigns. He's a big dude and he moves. And it's cool to see them mix the new era of wrestling with the old vibe, but with great storytelling. And that's always what it's been. If you can tell a great story, that's what it always was. And if most people don't know, the son of a plumber, Dusty Rhodes, was a great man on the mic. He wasn't, how you could say, the look of a wrestler, but he had the heart of a wrestler and he had that talk. He was the only person that could go toe to toe really on a mic with Ric Flair back then. That man had the cashmere coat. That man had the drip. And it was like the counterpart to Ric Flair was the fact that Ric Flair was the nature boy. He was pretty. He was magnificent. He was gorgeous. Then you had Dusty Rhodes, who was big, wasn't the best looker, but he had that mouthpiece.
They say, Dusty Rhodes, how come you don't look like Ric Flair and have all them muscles and pretty body? Well, I like the nightlife just a little bit better than I like the damn gym, Jack.
Everybody out there knows, if you ain't the prettiest and if you ain't got that, you got one thing, charisma. And Dusty Rhodes had that swag. He had something about him. Because he wasn't Rick. He didn't have the shape, but he had the mouth shape to prove that he could stand toe-to-toe with these people. And I know people, like I said, is predetermined this, that, and other. But the man who holds the belt holds the keys to the company. And for people who don't know, that watch my recent rant on Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon has been forced to step down due to his nastiness. But now we have Triple H. And if you don't know, Triple H runs NXT. Triple H was running NXT with Shawn Michaels, NXT being like the G League of the WWE. So the heart was always there. And I watched NXT, like the last time I really watched it, when I want to say Scott Steiner's son accidentally beat up somebody, his own partner. Yes, Scott Steiner's son is in NXT, which is the WWE. And it's crazy to see the generational talent being pumped through this company. And now a person like Triple H is running the company. He's a wrestler that has an eye for wrestling and listens to the people, which I love so much. So Triple H, if you're watching this, I would love nothing more to see Cody Rhodes versus The Rock versus the final boss. Because in that match, I don't think Cody Rhodes got to really wrestle The Rock. It was more or less Roman Reigns. And this is how you know it's great storytelling. For people that don't know, Roman Reigns used to be a partner with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins hit Roman Reigns with a chair, causing the Shield to break up. And Roman Reigns saw his opportunity and hit that man back. That's over 10 years of a lick back. That's how you tell a story, people. That's how you tell a story. And they got me hooked. I got my Peacock membership back up. Not that I never didn't watch Peacock. It used to be the WWE app. Now it's on Peacock. So I watch all my historic wrestling, all the WrestleManias I didn't get to watch as a kid. No, this isn't an ad for Peacock. Just if you guys want to watch wrestling like I did back in the day, you can watch some things. Some things have been removed due to the time or the severity of what happened, who did what, and what did when. But that's where we end that. Thank you, WWE. That was amazing. Till then, as I always would say, stay black. And for people that don't know what stay black means, it means stay true to who you are. Don't try to be anything you're not. And I don't mean stay black physically. I mean stay black mentally. Be the person that you are. Don't try to fit a narrative. Fit what fits you. You wouldn't try to put on, listen, I'm not going to try to put on a size 30 pants. I'm a 40. Keep it pushing. I got heartburn.